doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good to see you. I just want to know what this year has been like for you, given how things, ended in Tennessee and you were injured and you'd been here for 6 years and now you're playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's been an amazing year. Very blessed to be here, obviously. Some of the things I went through last year in Tennessee, it was really difficult. It was certainly some adversity. Anytime you try to come back from an injury and, you don't come back the way that you want to, it can be frustrating. And I think that through that, probably one of the cool things of that is that oftentimes in my life or in football, when you go through some adversity, a lot of times you grow as a person. And it's something where I think it's helped mature me as a person. I think I've grown in my faith through that. And it's been amazing just to see how the Lord has healed me and has brought me to a great situation here in Tampa and allowed me to work with a lot of great teammates and a lot of great coaches. And to have an opportunity to be here is just something I'm very grateful for.
Next up, we'll go to David Cloninger with the Post and Courier.
Hey, Ryan, good to talk to you again. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Not bad. How strange is it that you're a South Carolina guy and Bradley's a Clemson guy and you're teaming up to try to win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I tell you what, Bradley had a Clemson shirt on today. And I said, man, Bradley, I love you. That's an ugly shirt, buddy. And anyway, it's, Bradley's a really close friend of mine. And he's a great teammate. He's a great man. And certainly we have our Carolina Clemson differences, but it's something that, in all honesty, we kind of have fun with it. And I'm really blessed to work with a guy like Bradley. He's a great teammate, someone I'm really thankful for.
Next, we'll go to Corey Spector with WJPZ FM.
Hey, Ryan. I'm curious. I know your background of, you got into kicking field goals in high school when your soccer coach convinced you. How cool would it be if when kids were 5 or 6 years old, they'd start kicking field goals right away?
Well, I can tell you it is pretty cool because I have a 5-year-old little boy, and that's about all that he wants to do. So he's all in. I don't press it on him at all. Honestly, I just try to let him do whatever he wants, and that boy is into football, and he loves kicking the football. So it's been kind of fun for me as a dad to see a little 5-year-old boy get so excited about not only our team having success, he's all fired up about the Super Bowl, but it's also really cool seeing him have fun. We have some neighbors that live right down the street that are some really good friends of ours. They have an older boy. He actually plays for the Atlanta Falcons. His dad plays for the Falcons. It's Luke Stocker, and his little boy's a couple years older than my son, and those two just go out in the yard and have a ball, and they play and they play and they kick and they punt and they throw. And as a dad, it's just pretty special seeing your son enjoy the game. So pretty cool to see.
Next, we'll go to Blair Toet with the BBC.
Hi, so I just wanted to ask you a couple questions. The first being, how exciting is it to not only, be in the Super Bowl, but be playing against your former team, the Chiefs? And also, for you to be in Tampa Bay and to be working with this coaching staff, working with this amazing roster, how exciting is it for you, and what have you seen? You've played so many other years with other teams. What's the difference with this team and this coaching staff?
Yeah, so obviously it's a tremendous honor to play in the Super Bowl. That's something that you dream about ever since you start playing football. So very, very thankful for that opportunity. It'll be neat to get to play against my former team. I still have some friends on that team that I'm close with, and I still know some of the coaches. And so, I had a great experience in Kansas City. I had a great first 5 years of my career there. I'm very thankful for that time, and it'll be good to see some of those guys. And then, as far as being here in Tampa Bay, this has been an amazing situation. It's been awesome to come to work every day with so many great teammates and great coaches. And to see the success that we've had on the field this year, it makes you really happy for everyone in the building, because there's so many people, even a lot of people that probably don't stand up here and do interviews, but just from our strength staff to our coaching staff to people in the kitchen to really everyone in the building, players, coaches, everyone, there's just a great group of people down here. And so it's really cool to see everyone in the building getting rewarded with a chance to go play in the Super Bowl and a chance to win the Super Bowl. So it's something that I'm just really excited about, and I feel really honored to be here in Tampa.
Next, we'll go to Kellis Robinette of the Kansas City Star.
Hey, Ryan, can you just share some fond memories you have about Kansas City? What are some things that stick out to you about your time here?
Yeah, I would say that number one is the people. obviously some of my best friends were on that team, guys like Dustin Colquitt and Frank Zombo and Eric Fisher and Anthony Sherman and, Terrence Copper, just guys that I played with over the years that are just phenomenal people. So I think number one is the people. And secondly, the fans. My wife and I, we loved our time in Kansas City. We actually still have a house in Kansas City, and we love it there, and we loved our time there, I should say. And Arrowhead is obviously a special place, and there's a lot of great tradition there, and there's just a lot of great people in the Midwest and in Kansas City in general. So for me, I'd say the number one thing that stood out is the people.
Next will be Lou Bezjak with the State newspaper.
Ryan, just take me through your journey. I mean, being taken last in the draft in 2010 and still in the league and now getting to play a Super Bowl. Just did you think when you were picked then to be still playing in the league now, and how special is Sunday going to be for you?
Yeah, it's been an amazing 12 years for me. For me, I think that or I don't think I know, the Lord has blessed my career, and he's blessed my career in ways that I really never could have imagined, not just for the longevity of it, but for the people that he's allowed me to play with and the relationships that I've been able to build, and just the people that have poured into me over my 12 years in this league. I feel very blessed to be in that situation, and all glory to God for allowing me to experience this. And Sunday will be really special. After 12 years, this will be my first time getting to play in the big game, and so that's something that I feel very blessed to be able to do.
Next, we'll go to Evan Schenker with the Back Sports page.
Hi, Ryan. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good. So what does it mean to be able to kick on your home field in Tampa, knowing the weather, not having to travel? And a lot of people make a big deal out of home field advantage, but for kicking, it seems that would be a huge advantage for you. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's something that, obviously, and it sounds like we're going to have some weather on Sunday. I mean, it looks like we could have some high winds. It looks like we could have some rain. And so, that's something that, we've had a lot of windy games this year. Haven't had too many rain games. So that's just something that we'll do our best to be prepared for. And it's something that, we hopefully we'll be able to handle those elements and handle those conditions really well. That's what we work for, and hopefully we'll be able to go out and do that.
Next up, we'll go to Teresa Walker.
Ryan, you mentioned how God's kind of had his hand on you over the last few months, but the Titans cut you last March after being on and off the IR list the season before, and then the Bucs don't sign you until September. How did you kind of work through those months to make sure you were ready when somebody called to be ready for that moment, and how tough were those months?
So yeah, interestingly enough, I kind of referenced earlier that my son likes to go down the street and play with his buddy. So one of my really close friends, Luke Stocker, in Nashville, they live a couple houses down from us in Nashville. And obviously, he was a former teammate of mine with the Titans, and he now plays for the Falcons. Well, obviously, I got released in March. And when I did, all the gyms and everything were closed. Well, Luke had a gym in his garage. And so starting about mid-March, our wives would get together. They would go work out first. We would watch the kids. And then when they got done, we would swap. And Luke and I would go work out while our wives watched all the kids. And so getting to train with Luke was something that was a blessing. He was just great. We kind of fed off each other. I think we encouraged each other working out, training together. And to be honest with you, I think that the time, kind of being able to have that time away where I didn't feel like I needed to be ready to kick in May or June, I think that was something that was probably a blessing for me. And so having that time away, while it was hard in the sense that, wait a minute, I'm not on a team. I've been on a team every year for the last 11 or 12 years. That part of it maybe was a little bit odd, but actually having the time away where I could really train, really get my body right the way that I wanted to, and then to work with a guy like Luke is something that that was awesome, and that was a blessing. So I kind of thought the time away was good, and then having the opportunity to come down here right before the season started was awesome.
We'll go to Alec Lace with First Class Fatherhood.
Hey, Ryan, what's doing? My show focuses on fatherhood and family life. I believe you got 1 and 1 and 1 on the way here. Are you guys going to find out what you're having with kick a ball and see if it blows up blue or pink? And what are the top values that you're hoping to instill in your kids growing up?
Yeah, we're really blessed. We have a 5-year-old little boy, 2-year-old little girl, and another baby on the way. So I love the idea of kicking the football, but I always told my wife, I said I would love to wait, and she's such a planner that she's like, "There's no way we're waiting on the first two." But she always said, if we have one of each and we're pregnant with a third, that she would consider waiting. And so we are not finding out. So we have, I don't know, 12, 13 more weeks to go here. Babies due this spring, and we don't know what we're having. So looking forward to that surprise. And as far as instilling values, I think, first of all, let me just say I love what you're doing. I think that we need more dads. We need more dads in this country and in this world. And that's something, man, I can get behind your cause. I love that. So grateful to hear what you're doing. I think as far as values I want to instill in my children, there's a lot, man. There's a lot of values. I think my faith is something that has really shaped me. That would be the first thing. It would be my Christian faith. And then secondly, I think just to treat people kindly, to be kind to people, to love one another. And, there's a lot of values, but I would say those are the three that come to mind when you first asked me.
Next question will come from Austin from the Fully Loaded podcast.
How you doing, Ryan?
Hey, I'm doing well. How about you?
Good. Okay. I asked Harris and Bucker the same question, but do you have any superstitions or pregame rituals that you go through before you either go out to the field and make a kick or before the game?
Not really. I'm not very. I'm not like a superstitious person or anything like that. I always, I shoot my wife a text before every game, and just tell her I love her and to give our kids a hug for me. And before every kick, I think one of the things I always do, honestly, is I'm just on the sideline. I always pray for peace, and I just pray for the Lord to give me peace to go out there and be free and not to worry about the stress of the game or the stressful moments or anything like that. Lord, just give me peace and help me to go out there and do what you've given me the ability to do. So I would say those are the two things that I do.
Next up, we'll go to Josh McKinney.
Hey, Ryan, Josh McKinney, Hickory Daily Record. We're very proud of you for going to the Super Bowl. Just talk about what it means to represent Hickory and Hickory High School in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate your question. Yeah, this is awesome. I feel a ton of support from a lot of my friends and family that are in the Hickory area, and it's really cool and special to be able to represent Hickory in the Super Bowl. So it's something that I'm excited about. Obviously, have a lot of fond memories growing up and playing at Hickory High, and that's where all of this got started. And it'll be really special on Sunday to hear from a lot of my friends and family from Hickory. So looking forward to being able to represent them, and hopefully we can go out there and get a win for everybody in that part of the state.
Next up, we'll go to Diego DuPont.
Hi, Ryan. How are you?
Hey, I'm well. How are you?
Thanks. Congratulations to be part of this match. My question is, how about you feel to play against your first team and your teammates have the confidence to play another game than the last November match?
Yeah, obviously, we had kind of hit on that earlier, but it'd be exciting to get to play against, the Chiefs. It's a team where I started my career, and I have a lot of fond memories of Kansas City, and was able to develop a lot of great friendships there. And so I'm looking forward to seeing some of those guys that are still playing from when I was there. And then, as far as our confidence from when we played them earlier in the season, I think that our team has come a long way, and we've continued to grow and we've continued to get better as a team. And obviously, I think the Chiefs have done the same. So it should be a great game. It's something we're really looking forward to.
Next, we'll go to Joshua Peck from the Daily Star.
Hi, Ryan. I've seen you used to play soccer in your younger days. Are you still interested in soccer? Do you still pay attention? And if so, who do you support?
Yeah, I grew up obviously playing soccer and loved the game. I thought that I think it's one of the greatest games out there. And the other thing I love about soccer is I feel like it helps you with every other sport that you play. Soccer was one of the first sports I played, and then as I got into basketball or baseball or football or whatever it was, it seemed like it helped translate and helped you to pick up those sports as well. And as far as being a fan, I'm not a huge I don't get into the club soccer very much. I'm not a huge fan of it. I do love watching the World Cup. So every 4 years. I love watching the World Cup. I think that's one of the greatest sporting events that we have in the world, and I love pulling for the USA if they're in it.
Next question will come from Paul Kaharski.
Hey, Ryan, good to see you.
Hey, Paul.
I hope you could go back to last year a little bit. I know you've talked about it. Just how much was the injury? Talk me through both stages of the injury, coming out of camp and then your trial run, I guess, during the season with the setback. And then what was it like just kind of to watch and be part of a kicking season like that with things going so sideways? It must be really gratifying now to come out of it and be going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no question. Last year was a difficult year, and it was something that you have an injury and you work really hard to come back from, and it just didn't go the way that I wanted it to. And as I kind of referenced earlier, I think that looking back on it, it was crazy because when I was going through it, it was so frustrating and it was difficult, and it's just not at all what you want as an athlete and as a competitor. But when you look back on it, I think about that time in my life, and I think that it has grown me a ton as a person. I think that it has grown me in my faith. It's grown me as a man, and I think that adversity does that to us. I think that God sometimes puts adversity in our lives because He wants us to grow and He wants to mold us. And I think that's something that I really learned through that time last year. And certainly, whether I was playing or whether I was on IR and not being able to play, you want to be out there with your teammates and you want to be helping the team win. And so when you're not able to do that, it's really difficult. And as far as looking forward to this year, one of the things when I ended the season on IR and was away from the game for a little bit, in February, March, that time, it makes you realize how much you love the game and how much you miss playing the game. And so for me to be able to come back and, just the way the Lord has blessed this season, it's probably one of the best seasons I've ever had. And it's just been really, really gratifying. And it's something that has, I think, grown my faith over this time, just to know that, man, God is good. He's going to allow us to go through some difficult things, but when we keep our eyes on Him, things are going to work out. And it's been really special just seeing how this season has gone. And it's something I'm just really, really grateful for.
Next up, we'll go to Chris Harris with WSMV TV.
Hey, Ryan, just to kind of follow up on that, how will you think of your 6 years in Tennessee kicking with the Titans professionally?
Yeah, I had a great time in Tennessee. 5 of the first 6 years went really, really, really well. The last year was difficult, but the first 5 years that I had were amazing, and it was amazing. The same experience that I had in Kansas City, I had in Tennessee. My wife and I, we call Nashville home. We love Nashville. We built a house there a couple of years ago. My kids are in school there, and we have a lot of great friends in Nashville, and a lot of those friends are from the Titans. A lot of those guys are still playing for the Titans, and guys like Ben Jones and Brett Kern, and our families are really close, and those are guys that I'm just really grateful for to have in my life. I think we'll be friends. We'll be friends for the rest of our life, and those guys I think they're excited for us, and they're looking forward to us playing on Sunday, and then getting back to Nashville, and hopefully getting out and getting our families together and playing some golf together and just doing the things that we love. So, had a ton of respect for my time in Tennessee. Made a lot of great friendships. The Titans fans were awesome. They've been so good to my family. I still feel and hear a ton of support from Titans fans, whether it be on social media or just reaching out through text or whatever it may be. We were really grateful for the people in Nashville, the people in Tennessee, and that's, like I said, it's home for us right now, and we love that community.
Next up, we have Steve Isbitz with JoeBucksFan.com.
Hi, Ryan. 2 quick questions. If there is any difference at all kicking in the south end zone or the north end zone at Raymond James Stadium, could you please describe what that is? And the other question would be, I'll skip that. Go ahead.
Okay. So obviously when I came to Tampa, I heard a lot about the south end zone. And so it seems like the wind can be a little bit trickier down there. This year has been interesting. We've had a lot of north winds, which I'm not certain from my conversations with other guys. Again, I've only been here for maybe 5 months. So There's probably other guys you could ask, but I think that's a little bit odd that we've had so many games where we've had a north wind, and so I think that's a little different than some other years. But the thing about our stadium is it's open-ended on both sides, and so wind is a factor in our stadium, and particularly playing down here in Tampa, we have a lot of games where we have to deal with a lot of wind, and it looks like Sunday might be the same. Just looking at the 5 or 6 day forecast. So hopefully we'll be prepared for that. That's something that we take into account. We try to do the best we can in pregame to gauge it as best we can. And then sometimes you just have to go out there and trust what you think the wind is doing and put a good swing on it.
Next, we'll go to Nate Wimberly with WBTV.
Hey, what's up, man?
How are you, Nate?
Hey, congratulations. Going back to your Hickory High days, kicking at Barger Stadium, could you have ever imagined that one day you would be playing and kicking in the Super Bowl? And what's one of your most memorable wins as a Hickory High Red Tornado?
Yeah, as far as growing up in Hickory, I probably never imagined playing in the Super Bowl. It's something that maybe you dream about and you watch the Super Bowl and you sit there and go, man, that would be so cool. But it doesn't really feel like a reality or something that would be possible. So it's pretty amazing that that's going to happen this week. Something I'm very grateful for. As far as a memory, I remember when we played Burns one year, and it was probably maybe 2003 or 2004, somewhere in there. And I remember they had a really good team, and I remember that they were going to spike the ball to kill the clock and kick a field goal with not much time left. And I think the quarterback took a knee, and I think we ended up winning the game. And that's just a game that we always talk about. Burns was a great team that year. We won, and that was a pretty special moment.
Next, we'll go to Tom Rock with Newsday.
Ryan, I was wondering, from a kicking perspective, what's it like to have a coach whose motto is "No risk it, no biscuit"? That seems to leave you on the sideline quite a few times.
You know what? It's been great to get to play for Coach Arians this year. Man, he's been awesome, and he's someone that I think all the players really, really respect. He's had a ton of success in this league, and so he's someone that we trust, and the guys trust. It's his decision when to send us out there or when to go for it. And my job is just to be ready for whenever my number is called. And that's just how I try to approach that.
Next, we'll go to Doug Kayed with NESN.
Hey, Ryan, when was the first time that you actually met Tom Brady, and what was that interaction like? And then also, how much time did you actually get to spend with Tom this season, given the COVID protocols and everything?
Yeah, the first time I met him, I imagine it would have been the first week that I got here. Tom has been great. He's a tremendous leader. It's been awesome to get a chance to play with, the greatest player that's ever played this game. And to be able to call him a teammate is something that I think we are all really, really grateful for, really thankful for. And, he's been awesome. He's been a tremendous leader. And, as far as how much time have I had with him, not a ton. Obviously you see each other at practice or, you may have interactions here or there throughout the day. But COVID's a different year. We're not all huddled up around a table eating lunch together or anything like that, like maybe we would be in prior years. So don't have a ton of time with him, but the interactions that I have had have been really positive. He does a great job of making everyone feel important. He's really, really nice to everybody, really kind. And I really respect how he treats people with so much respect. It's cool to see someone in his position take the time to make everyone around him feel important.
Next, we'll go to Carlos Santos with Culture Sports.
Hi, Ryan. I know the Tampa Bay Bucks have had issues with their kickers for the past few years. How does it make you feel that they finally found one and, they can rely on you to try win the games when it comes to, kicking a field goal?
Yeah, as far as things in previous years, I wasn't here for that, so I really don't have much to say on that. The one thing that I will say is that, I've worked with a bunch of great guys, and I'm grateful for guys like Zach Trenner and Bradley Pinion, my snapper and my holder. Those guys do such a fantastic job that they really make my job a lot easier. And so I'm just grateful that I get to go to work with guys like that each and every week. And as good as they are on the field, they're even better men off the field. And so that's something that I'm really thankful for. Really grateful for those guys, and just very appreciative of them.
We have time for a couple more questions. Next, we'll go to Mark Topkin with the Tampa Bay Times.
Hey, Ryan, two unrelated questions for you. One is just how does Bruce Arians at 68 relate to this young, obviously there's some older guys on the team like Tom, but a lot of young guys on the team. And then secondly, what kind of kicking surface did you find Raymond James to be? That stadium, that grass, it's gonna be new grass, but the surface, the look, just kind of how do you scope that out?
Yeah, so to start on BA, obviously BA's been a coach in this league for a long time, so he has no issue relating to guys. I mean, he does a great job with that. I really respect the way that he coaches. He's very to the point. He has us focused, and we know exactly what we need to do every week. And so a ton of credit to him. And it's been an honor to get to play for him. And as far as the surface at Raymond James, obviously we have outdoor games, so we have weather. We have, sometimes there's bowl games and stuff like that on our field. But you know what, all in all, I feel like our guys here, they really work hard trying to keep the field in great shape. And it's been great to get out there and play and be able to play on not natural grass all season. So those guys do a great job, and I'm very appreciative of their efforts because I know it's not an easy task.
We'll go to Santiago Tomasi with NFL Chile.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thanks, Mr. Succop. You played for Coach Reed 1 year. What's the difference between him and Arians about the special teams?
Pardon me, what's the difference between him and what?
Him, because Coach Reed and Coach Arians, according to special teams.
Oh, okay. You know what? They're obviously both great coaches. It's been great to be able to play for both of them. And when it comes to special teams, they both put an emphasis on special teams, and I think they both realize how important the special teams are to the game. And so they both do a great job making sure that everyone's ready to go each and every week, and making sure that we know exactly what we need to do to be successful. And they both, like I said, put a lot of emphasis on special teams. They realize the importance of it.
Next up, we'll go to Joshua Allen with Bucks Report.
Hey, Ryan, how are we doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Not sure if you're aware of the urban legend of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers kicker, but it's been very difficult to solidify a kicker in that position. And you've came in and you've really took control over it. You've been very accurate. You haven't had many misses. You've had some blocks, but that's not all on your fault. What's it been like to really bring solidity and solidify this position for this team?
Yeah, you know what? It's been this has been an awesome year. It's been a ton of fun to get to play with these guys that we do. And as I mentioned earlier, a ton of credit needs to be given to Zach and Bradley. Zach Trenner, Bradley Pinion, our snapper and holder, and the big guys up front. Protected for me, blocking for me. There's a lot that goes into making kicks, and so I give a ton of credit to them. Those are guys that I'm really grateful for. I get to work with them. They do a great job. They take a ton of pride in it, and collectively, I think that we've all. The three of us have really been able to come together. They welcomed me quickly when I got here the first week of September. They made me feel right at home. And, I think we've been able to develop some chemistry really quickly. And that's something that I don't take for granted because that's not always the case in this league. And so to get to work with guys like that has been awesome. And as I referenced earlier, they're phenomenal at what they do on the field, phenomenal. And as good as they are on the field, they're even better men off the field. And so those are the kind of guys that you want to go to work with. And man, they're great friends of mine. I think we're a really close, tight-knit group. And it's something that, I thank God for every day that I get to come in and work with guys like that, because that's really a blessing.
And the last question here will go to Steve Isbitz with JoeBucksFan.com.
Hey, Ryan, wanted to ask you about your kicking coach. Was it sort of strange being a veteran kicker with Coach Armstrong says you have very distinct and strict routines to come in and have a kicking coach? Did you have to sort of be careful to not maybe listen too much to him? And does he sort of stay hands off with you? How does that relationship go?
Yeah, I think it's been a great relationship working with Bones, and obviously our whole room. Coach Armstrong Tandy, Chris Bonio, all of us, and was Bradley, Zach, myself. I think it's been a really good relationship. I think we've all worked really well together this year, and I think that as far as the specifics to the kicking coach, I think Bones does a great job of just adding little tidbits here or there, whether it's things with the field or whether it's making sure that our op times are where we want them to be, or whether it's just different little things that he does a really good job paying attention to. And a lot of times those little things add up and they can make a big difference. And so, I'm grateful for all the coaches that we have here. I really like our room a lot. It's something that has just been a great fit all around.
All right, that's all the time we've got today. That'll conclude today's media availability session with Tampa Bay Buccaneers kicker Ryan Succop. Ryan, we appreciate the time.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me on.